Dad, we'll just leave like Mom did?
And the brave little fox found a magical key,
Hey, what did it open?
the door to a secret garden. You two are perfect together. I love you both so much.
We love you too.
Picture this. A man stands alone in his kitchen at 2 a.m., staring at a faded photo on the fridge. His wife is smiling, holding their newborn daughter. He looks happy in that picture. But that man died the day cancer took her. Now he's 33, a single dad named Mark Thompson, and every night the silence in the house screams louder than any engine he fixes at the garage. 5 years of raising Ava alone. 5 years of pretending he's okay when she asks why mommy isn't coming back. 5 years of believing love was finished for him. Until one person refused to let him disappear. Her name is Jessica Ruiz. They met in high school. She was the girl who sketched cars in the parking lot while he worked on them. Life pulled them apart. Marriage, kids, her move to the city. Then Rebecca got sick and Jessica came back. No questions. No drama. She just showed up. For 8 years she's been the only constant in their lives. She brings soup when Ava has a fever. She sits on the floor and helps with homework even when she's exhausted from her own graphic design deadlines. She braids Ava's hair better than Mark ever could and never makes him feel like a failure for not knowing how. Mark tells himself it's just friendship. The safe kind. The kind that doesn't break your heart again. But one Saturday everything shifts. Jessica walks in with her usual tote bag of art supplies. Ava runs to her screaming, "Jess! Help me with my family tree project." They drop to the floor together, laughing, crayons everywhere. Mark watches from the stove, flipping pancakes, and feels something dangerous stir in his chest. Later at the park, Ava is swinging high. Mark is pushing her. Jessica is sketching on the bench. An older woman walking her dog stops and smiles at the three of them. "You make such a beautiful family," she says. "You two are perfect together. Don't wait too long." The words land like a stone in still water. That night on the back porch, crickets loud in the dark, Mark finally speaks. "Jess, that lady today. She said we're perfect together." Jessica looks at him, her eyes soft but scared. "I've felt it too," she whispers. "For a long time. But I was terrified of ruining what we have. You and Ava, you're my family already." Mark reaches for her hand. Their fingers fit like they were always meant to. Their first kiss is slow, careful, like they're both afraid the world might end if they move too fast. When they pull apart, neither of them says anything. They don't need to. The next few weeks feel like walking on thin ice. Mark catches himself pulling away. One night he snaps at Ava over nothing. Jessica finds him in the garage later, head in his hands. "I'm sorry," he says. "I keep waiting for it all to disappear again." She wraps her arms around him from behind. "It won't. But you have to let me in when it hurts." Ava notices the change too. During movie night she suddenly pauses the screen. "Are you and Jess together now?" Her voice is small. Scared. Jessica kneels in front of her. "How does that make you feel, sweetheart?" Ava's eyes fill with tears. "Good. But, what if you leave like Mom did?" The question hits Mark like a punch to the chest. He pulls Ava into his lap and holds her tight. "No one's leaving," he says, voice cracking. "Jess has been here through everything. We're just becoming a bigger family." Ava nods, but the fear doesn't vanish overnight. 2 nights later, Mark wakes up to an empty bed. He finds Ava outside on the swing at 2 a.m., clutching her stuffed bear, crying. "I dreamed Jess was gone," she whispers. "Just like Mom." Mark sits with her until the sun comes up, rocking her like she's still 5 years old. The next morning, Jessica shows up with pancakes and doesn't ask what happened. She just sits on the swing with Ava and draws pictures of the 3 of them holding hands. Slowly, the nightmares fade. But the scar stays. Then the first real storm hits. Jessica's ex, Ryan, appears at her studio one afternoon. He's heard she's seeing someone. He wants to talk. Jessica tells Mark that night, trying to sound calm. He says he's changed. Wants another chance. Mark feels the old walls slam shut. That night he barely sleeps. The next day he's short with customers at the garage. When Jessica comes over for dinner, he's distant. "If he's back in your life, I get it," he says quietly. "You deserve someone without all this baggage." Jessica's eyes fill with tears. "Mark, I chose you. 8 years ago. Not him." But the doubt poisons everything for a week. Mark starts checking her phone when she's not looking. Every time it buzzes, he feels sick. The suspense is killing him. Is this where it all falls apart? Then the garage owner calls him into the office. "We're losing money. Big chain opened down the road. I have to cut hours, or let someone go." Mark is the last one hired. That night he sits at the kitchen table surrounded by bills, calculator in hand, stomach in knots. If he loses this job, they lose the house. Ava changes schools. Everything they've built starts to crumble. Jessica finds him at midnight. She doesn't offer money. She opens her laptop and redesigns his garage website for free. She stays up until 3 a.m. making flyers and posting in local groups. For 2 weeks Mark works double shifts, coming home exhausted, wondering every single day if this is the end. The suspense is brutal. Then the worst blow comes. One morning at the garage, Mark feels a sharp pain in his chest. He ignores it. By lunch he's sweating, vision blurring. He drives himself to urgent care. The doctor's face is serious. Stress-induced arrhythmia. Could be an early warning. You need to slow down. Mark sits in his truck afterward, hands shaking. Rebecca's illness started the same way. The fear is suffocating. He doesn't tell Jessica at first. That night he lies awake staring at the ceiling, imagining Ava losing another parent. The suspense is unbearable. Jessica senses it. She shows up the next evening. "Talk to me, Mark. You're shutting down again." He breaks. Tells her everything, the job, the chest pain, the terror of leaving Ava. Tears roll down his face for the first time in years. Jessica holds him tight. "You're not doing this alone. I'm here. We're here." She makes him see a cardiologist. She takes Ava to school so he can rest. She fights for him in ways he never asked for. The cardiologist visit brings relief. It's stress, not something fatal. The garage owner, seeing how hard Mark fought, keeps him and even gives a small raise after the new website brings in customers. Ryan texts Jessica one last time. She blocks him without hesitation. And Ava? She starts calling Jessica, Jess Mom, in little slips that become permanent. 6 months later, on that same park bench at sunset, Ava holding a daisy, Mark drops to one knee. "Jess, you've been my best friend, my rock, my light through the darkest nights. Will you marry me? Be part of this family for good?" Tears fall as she says yes. Ava cheers and throws petals everywhere. Their wedding is small and perfect, backyard, string lights, close friends. Ava walks Jessica down the aisle in a blue dress. The vows talk about loyalty, laughter, and second chances. Years later, at Ava's middle school art show, Mark stands beside Jessica, arm around her waist, watching their daughter's first big piece on the wall. Rebecca's photo still hangs in the kitchen, a quiet reminder of the love that came first. But the house is full of new memories now. New laughter. New life. Sometimes love doesn't arrive with fireworks. Sometimes it waits quietly for years, disguised as your best friend. And when it finally speaks, it says the simplest, most powerful words. You two are perfect together. If this story moved you, if it reminded you that second chances often come from the people who never left, hit that like button. It helps these stories reach more hearts. Subscribe to Life Between Lines for more emotional single dad journeys, unexpected love, and the quiet power of kindness. Turn on notifications so you never miss the next one. And comment below, have you ever watched friendship quietly become forever? I read every single one. Keep being kind out there. You never know whose second chance you're holding.